slim and sleek design. Outstanding OLED display, rapid charging, excellent audio, no Google Play Store services, quite expensive, middling battery life, and the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 offers a sleek design, solid performance, an outstanding OLED display, and strong audio output. However, Huawei's ongoing issues with Google support, there isn't a background Senate, means you probably shouldn't buy its latest tablet. You have to hand Huawei credit for persistence. Despite being hobbled by severe software and component restrictions here in the West, the Chinese company continues to plug away with the fresh hardware releases. And when you see what's on offer in the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2, you can kind of understand why. This is a sleek, powerful tablet with an outstanding, supersized display and some strong accessories. And, you know, of course, if in launch pricing starting from €999, we're still awaiting UK pricing, but, you know, £999 seems like a reasonable bet. You'll be paying a premium price for such elevated hardware. This is a high-end tablet in a similar mold to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus, and Huawei's going to need to nail all the basics as a bare minimum if it hopes to compete at this end of the tablet market. It's very big, but very thin and light. Plastic frame, glass fiber rear, no fingerprint sensor. We've said it before, and we'll say it again. As awkward as Huawei's software situation is, the company knows how to make hardware that's both compelling and unique. And the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 is a huge tablet with a whopping great 13.2-inch display, yet it's a mere 5.5 millimeter thick and somehow only weighs around 580 grams. And I say somehow, but it's not a huge mystery how this feat has been achieved. While this is being marketed as a Pro tablet, with many of the premium elements this entails, the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 is made primarily of plastic. The frame is pure plastic, while the rear uses glass fiber with a nanoscale optical finish to make it look metallic. Huawei is one of precious few non-Apple tablet manufacturers to implement a properly secure facial recognition system, and it's an interesting trade-off. On the one hand, the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 doesn't feel as premium as an iPad Pro, a Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus, or even a Lenovo Tab P12 Pro. On the other, it's relatively comfortable to hold for extended periods, which not all of those rivals can claim. It would be wrong to say that Huawei is cheaped out on design here. The screen bezel is quite minimalistic for a tablet, resulting in an impressive 94% screen-to-body screen ratio. True, this can mean that your thumb or palm hangs over the display a little when you're holding it, but it's not a huge issue. The color options include gold and black and green. I was sent the latter, and it's more of an icy mint than flat-out green, as you can see. There's no fingerprint sensor provision here, but that's excusable.
Huawei is one of precious few non-Apple tablet manufacturers to implement a properly secure facial recognition system using the front-facing camera in conjunction with ToF depth sensors.
And works even in, poor lighting, smartly lighting up the huge display where necessary. Third-gen M Pencil, 10,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. Smart magnetic keyboard comes in two parts, and Huawei has produced its third-generation M Pencil stylus and a smart magnetic keyboard as part of the wider MatePad Pro 13.2 ecosystem. The former attaches to the top edge of the MatePad Pro 13.2 magnetically, where it will also charge. It offers a suitably strong writing and drawing experience with 10,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, up from the usual 4,096. This really manifests itself when using the pencil tool in the pre-installed Notepad or Notes app, with an impressive amount of nuance and variation possible depending on how hard you press. The level of resistance on this replaceable tip isn't the most pleasingly tactile. To my mind, I would have liked a little more grippiness for something closer to the pen and paper experience. Huawei itself offers its paper matte devices, if that's a concern that you share. And also Huawei's smart magnetic keyboard comes in two parts: a snap-on rear cover and kickstand for the rear of the MatePad, and a magnetic keyboard that connects to the tablet wirelessly. This feels like a slightly unwieldy approach, but when secured, it provides a solid typing experience. The keyboard mimics a laptop-like chiclet layout, comparable levels of key travel, and a proper clicky touchpad, so it's really vying to be a laptop replacement. Huawei has implemented an intuitive gesture-based navigation system into that touchpad, so you won't need to interact directly with the screen unless you wish to. One annoyance I found was that the keyboard didn't automatically disconnect when I took it off, necessitating a hard disconnect via the Bluetooth toggle so that I could restore the virtual keyboard. As is always the case with these tablet keyboards, there's an inherent lack of rigidity that's more flat top than laptop. You'll need a table or some other flat surface for it to be viable as a productivity tool. Talking about your favorite productivity app may not work too seamlessly with the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2, particularly if you use Google Docs. We'll discuss that more in the software section later. This thing is a truly brilliant multimedia tool. And what happened in the nose life? 144 hertz refresh rate, 6 speakers. The main event here is the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2's ginormous 13.2 inches OLED display with a 2820 resolution for 262 ppi, and those punchy but not too punchy OLED colors. This thing is a truly brilliant multimedia tool. That only something like the way more expensive Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra and its ridiculous 14.6-inch panel is able to outdo it. And Samsung's Uber tablet can't top the MatePad Pro 13.2 display for fluidity though. An unusually high maximum refresh rate of 144 hertz seems like overkill when 120 hertz is more than enough, but you won't catch me complaining. Nor can Samsung's tablet hold a candle to Huawei when it comes to brightness, with the MatePad Pro 13.2 capable of scaling peaks of 1,000 nits. I recorded it hitting 600 nits with auto brightness switched off, which is very good for a tablet. It's extremely color accurate with a gamut coverage of 99.5% sRGB against a gamut volume of 103.3% using the normal color mode and a superb delta E rating of 0.74. Watching video content on this screen is fabulous, or at least it's potentially fabulous. In practical terms, finding content to stream can prove extremely awkward. And it's definitely, too, this touches more on the software shortcomings of the MatePad Pro 13.2 and Huawei devices in general. But even when you manage to hunt down a major service like Netflix on a third-party app store, you'll find that it only streams at an SD resolution with no HDR. If you can secure access to sufficiently high-quality video material, you'll benefit from superb sound output. Huawei has packed its supersized tablet with 6 speakers, producing spacious and crisp audio. It remains clear at surprisingly loud volumes too. Kirin 9000S chip offers mid-range performance. 12 gigabyte storage, 256 or 512 gigabyte storage. The MatePad Pro 13.2 is powered by the same homebrewed Kirin 9000S chip that powered the flagship Huawei Mate 60 Pro smartphone earlier in the year. It's made using a rather inefficient 7nm process, but it's certainly a capable chip. Combined with a generous 12 gig of RAM, performance is fluid and hitch-free when jumping between apps and scrolling through menus. For the money, however, you might expect more. Benchmark tests point to a CPU performance level comfortably beyond the Lenovo P12 Pro, with its mid-range Snapdragon 870, but well short of the similarly priced Galaxy Tab S9 Plus with its Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. In GPU terms, it falls well short of both tablets, suggesting that this isn't a tablet for avid gamers. Of course, given the ongoing situation with Huawei devices and app support, resulting in a distinct lack of access to the latest and greatest games, that last point rather than goes without saying. And even so, Huawei's claims that the MatePad Pro 13.2 runs cool certainly proved true in my experience, and I found that it was running at a comfortable temperature even after running successive GPU benchmark tests. And there's plenty of storage on Tab 2 with a choice of either 256 or 512 gigabyte models. 13 megapixel camera with AF, 8 megapascal ultra 16 megapixel selfie cam with D2. It's not worth spending too much time deliberating over the camera setup of a tablet, especially not a huge 13.2-inch one. Suffice to say that the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 goes above and beyond with its provision. We get two sensors around back with a 13 MP f1.8 main camera assisted by an 8 MP ultra wide. And in the few quick snaps I took with this setup, the MatePad Pro 13.2 proved an adequate performer. Adequate in tablet terms means not totally unusable or useful in pinch. On the very few occasions you're caught without your phone. As you'd expect, the sensor does much better with detail, exposure, and dynamic range. But you'd expect that. All in all, Huawei's photographic expertise ensure that shots are reasonably bright and balanced, if a little process looking. And you get a good, probably more important on a tablet, is the front camera. Now that's especially the case with the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2, as it's the sole means of biometric authentication. And this means you're getting a 16 megapixel sensor with an f2.2 aperture and a DTOF sensor. The latter judges 3D depth, meaning you can scan your face with precision for a secure authentication. It also helps capture selfies with reasonable clarity. Though you'll want to opt out of those awful, beautifying, and weird mirror effects. Dual 50-50 milliamp hour cells for 10,100 milliamp hours capacity. Scores poorly on PC Mark Work 3.0 test. Fast 88 watt charger bundled in. The Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 runs on twin 50 milliamp hour cells for a total capacity of 10,100 milliamp hour. Such chunky capacities are necessary with these supersized tablets, as they typically take a bigger battery hit than their smaller or more regular sized brothers. A full charge will take a little over an hour. That's outstanding within the rarefied big tablet field. Standby time is excellent, with just a few percentage points lost when left inactive for about 18 hours. However, I was particularly worried for the MatePad Pro 13.2's stamina, given its provision of such a large, bright, and fast display, as well as that relatively inefficient 7nm processor. Sure enough, sustained usage will drain the battery fast in the PC Mark Work 3.0 battery test, which simulates a range of regular usage scenarios. The Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 and scored 6 hours and 45 minutes. That's short of other supersized tablets, such as the Lenovo Tab P12 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. It should be noted that I was running the MatePad at the high 144 Hz refresh rate setting, as is our wont. Sticking with the default dynamic refresh rate, or even bumping things down to the medium setting, which is still 120 Hz, will doubtless extend that battery life a little. And even if you do prefer to run the MatePad Pro 13.2 flat out, Huawei is compensated with an unusually generous charging provision. It supplies an impressive 88-watt charger in the box. Using this accessory, I recorded the MatePad 13.2 as being able to get from empty to 63% in just 30 minutes. Full charge will take a little over an hour. That's outstanding within the rarefied big tablet feel. And see, Harmony OS 4.0 reasonably clean and fluid. No Google Play Store apps, app gallery, and pedal search. Instead, I've referenced Huawei's software woes a few times already, and that's because it permeates the whole MatePad Pro's 13.2 experience in the lower level of 1952. However, Huawei's bespoke Harmony OS 4.0 takes the bare bones of open source Android and builds its own custom OS on top. This is out of necessity more than choice. Thanks to US sanctions, there's no access to Google services here. This is about more than just a few pre-installed apps. It means that the MatePad Pro 13.2 can't access the Google Play Store, meaning you have to source your apps from Bokabug's own severely limited app gallery or from a whole host of third-party app stores via Huawei's pedal search tool. Huawei has made a number of claims about the ease and safety of sourcing apps in this way, but there's no escaping that it's well below the standard of the regular Android experience found on rivals. It's way clunkier, with far more hoop jumping involved, and without the same seamless access to updates. It's also fundamentally less secure. I've personally never encountered a security issue when downloading apps on a Huawei device, but the fact is that Huawei can vouch for the provenance of any app sourced from outside the app gallery. It merely plays the role of gatekeeper, and even then, many popular apps don't play nicely with Huawei devices. As mentioned above, Netflix works, but only with the bare minimum of streaming quality. So first, bear in mind too that the lack of Google support goes beyond mere app access. It means no easy logins, no Google Pay payments on websites, and inferior media casting options to smart devices. And what all of the post is related to do is that I still are very small. Some of them may not even be reflected Vibers, the Pixel tablet, nor even Samsung's, but it's perfectly functional within its severely limited boundaries. And Huawei pre-installs a whole bunch of bloatware, though a lot of it makes a good deal more sense when there's no access to Google's superior alternatives, Pedal Maps, Cloud browser in particular. Still, I do wonder why there's a need for two functionally overlapping note-taking apps. The Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 will launch in Europe on January 22nd, 2024. Pricing will start from 999 euros for the 256 gigabyte model, while you'll be able to buy the 512 gigabyte with the bundled keyboard for 11 months, $199. We haven't received any word on UK availability or pricing at the time of writing, but we'll be sure to update this review just as soon as we hear more. It's likely to be close to a one-to-one conversion, just as the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus costs £999, £999. Check out our charts of the best tablets and best Android tablets to see what other options you have. The Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 is a sleek supersized tablet with a phenomenal 13.2-inch OLED display and great sound output, aided by solid performance and a pair of strong optional accessories. And it's super much, it's not second software for its don't make. And I'm making a shout out to several Inc. of the software. You probably shouldn't buy everybody's model weighted, especially at such a premium price. The lack of Google support makes both productivity and media consumption more difficult than it should be, while even apps that would make the most of that glorious display, like Netflix, fall well short of optimal. Harmony OS 4.0, 13.2 in 28.8 x 1920 OLED, 144 Hz flat display, facial recognition system. Kirin 9000S at 12 gig of RAM, 256 gigabytes, 512 gigabyte storage, 13 megapascals, f1.8 main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, up to 4K at 30 FPS rear video, 16 megapixel harms, front facing camera with TOF 3D, and 6 stereo speakers, Wi-Fi NO 2.11, ABG NAC, 6 Bluetooth 5.1010 milliamp hour battery, 88 watt charging of 289.1 times 196.1 times 5.5 millimeters. Launch colors: golden black, green,